Right then, this is a reply going here, you to you, Shadow Bacon. Yeah, you've always been a bacon. You always stay a bacon. That's that. But I've just seen your video there. So now, this is my reply to you. And that's that. Yeah, no more said. Okay? You was due to fight at the 31st of May at Bendigo Fight Club in Nottingham. Now, please take everything what I'm going to say to you very seriously in here now, yeah? That promoter there has got in touch with, and he speaks to a lot of people, Jamie Christopher, Clayton Peters, a lot of boxers at Spartan Promotions, a lot of boxers at Olympus Promotions. He knows everybody, yeah? I've never spoke to this promoter, yeah? I've not got in touch with him or nothing. Other fighters have, yeah? I ain't spoke to him once. I've seen his post, what he's put on Bendigo Fight Club, saying, I'm sorry, everybody. Due to being aware of these convictions, what the shadow boxer has done prison for, I can't allow him to fight on my show. It's got nothing to do with me. The promoter will tell you I've not spoke to him. Other fighters have spoke to him from Nottingham and Yorkshire. I don't know if you're very smart, yeah? But from Donny, Nottingham's about an hour away, yeah? So listen to me, mate. Local areas, people watch the internet worldwide, YouTube, have pointed out to this promoter, your past convictions are grape. Do you know what you did 2.5 years in jail for, what you got 5 years for in jail, the grape? And you did that jail in Ireland for graping that woman, right? You was arrested, which means a pair of handcuffs got put on your hands. You then went to the police station. The police had to do their evidence. Or in your case, it could be the guards, the Garda, yeah? Then when the guards done their evidence on you, yeah, they then found it sufficient enough evidence to charge and remand you. You was charged and you was remanded where you went on a paedophile wing, right? A VP wing, a special wing, who was highly vulnerable to be attacked by prisoners on main population. We all know that. When we're in prison, we all want paedophiles and rapists because it's sports day to us. Remember that, sports day. That's how I've always took it, as sports day. Just like if you were landed in an English jail and someone pointed him out and say, "Yo, Brett, look at that guy's papers there, he's a convicted rapist." Thought, oh, he's trying to blend it on this wing, is he? Then we know what time it is. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Everyone knows what I do. Man, there's about thousands of witnesses what's seen what I've done to fucking paedophiles in jail. You know what I mean? I don't have to, the realists don't have to big his name up. Everyone knows how the fuck I roll, bro. Now listen, you're hating on me because you like to put my name in subtitles because you know it'll get your views. And I know you're crying on that phase there. And listen, and if you have not graped that woman and you've done time for it, I agree, it's truly awful. You know what I mean? But the fact is, mate, till you get a judge to reverse them charges and give you full exoneration, which then you will be entitled to a shitload of compensation, mate, and you'll probably be a rich man. You know what I mean? Which I can't see any state doing unless you really had fucking some awesome proof. Meaning, like, if you had the woman on a recording saying it was all lies or whatever, then that's the only way I can really see you getting these charges exonerated. You know what I mean? So, for the time being, you are a convicted, not charged, not arrested, not bailed, convicted rapist. Yeah? That's that. Now, like I said, I have not been in touch with this Bendigo promoter, and I've not told anyone to get in touch with this Bendigo promoter in Nottingham. And he'll back up. It's nothing to do with me. Like that. If there's nothing better than what I'd like to see than a bacon come over and get his head punched in anyway. You know what I mean? Do you know these Englishmen here? Do you know when you said, can you remember, no Englishman born from a mother could ever beat me, and you repeated it on multiple occasions, and Andrew Ross, one of my pals who wanted to fight you about it a million times, yeah, who's sadly not here now, was his wish to do you in as he was an ex-serving British soldier. You know what I mean? And hopefully I get to do that at some stage. But listen to me, bacon, yeah? For the time being, you're a bacon until these charges get reversed. You know what I mean? It was 10 years ago, and you've still not got the charge reversed. You know what I mean? And up here in England and up here in Doncaster, we don't like people what grape women or girls. That's what you've done. Now you've tried changing the narrative, and you put on your video. What did you put now? Brett May is a grass. Brett May is a child killer. So we'll kill the two birds with one stone, what you're talking about here, won't we, yeah? I've done videos on both of these subjects more times than I can remember. If I got a penny for every time I had to explain myself, well, I don't have to explain myself to anyone, but every time I've had to do it on here, I'd be a rich man. Now, let me break it down. To be a proven grass, you have to make a police witness statement. I have never made a police witness statement in my life. If I did, you know how much trolls and hate I've got on me, everybody. They would be shared for the worldwide to see, rubbed in my face every day to make me suffer. Yes or no? No. Yeah, thank you. That's that, yeah? There is none. You can't get what's not there, and everyone knows that. That's that. You know what I mean? That is that. But I tell you what, every single person what's grassed me up, I've got all their statements in my top drawer. Because it's called depths. When you charge for a crime, it's your legal obligation where you can go to your brief and say, can I have the evidence? What's against me, please? And the witness statements. That is your legal right. I've got all mine in the trophy jar upstairs. You know what I mean? I don't put them on here because then it'd be breach. You know what I mean? I just look at them and sometimes laugh at them. You know what I mean? Especially in these so-called gangster wannabe circles, yeah? Some of them I don't laugh on them. Some of them I reflect. But anyways, that's that. That's the past. I'm never going back to jail again. I never will go back to jail again. I'm doing things the right way. I've kept my head down. I don't bother anyone. I don't mess with anyone. I keep myself to myself. I stay in my own lane. That's that. You know what I mean? That's how I roll. I train. I do my thing every day. I'm getting myself back super fit for a big, massive showdown. I'm in great shape now, as you can see. I'm not playing no games. Honestly, I'm not playing games. Everyone's out there drinking on this weekend, Fridays. I'm not. I'm having an early night. Trust me, I'm grinding my ass off out here, mate. Training my balls off. But you, Shadow, to say something like that to try and chuck smoke and mirrors is a load of horseshite. You know what I mean? A load of horseshite. It's simple as that. Everyone what knows the situation knows. I've done over 26 jail sentences. You know what I mean? With over 12 years behind door. You know what I mean? There's no one more real than me. And I've never sweet-grassed on anyone in my life. On anything I want. I ain't been brought up that way. That's that. I don't talk to dinner ladies. I don't talk to screws. Don't talk to authorities. I'm proper old school. And there is no more old school than me. I am the original one-man army, me. That's that. Now, your second rumour. Brett May killed a little girl. Are you real? Are you real? To even say something like that to aggravate me is next level disgusting. What you are referring to, there was a car crash when I was 18 years of age. Christopher Lana was the driver. Ricky Davis was in the back. Reason why I'm giving names, guys, because when I have an horrible accusation like that put to me, yeah, no messing around, I proper take offence to it, yeah. And I swear to God, it really gets me horrible and angry inside when everyone who knows the situation knows what happened. Now, the car was legit. It was tax tested, MOT'd and insured. It was Brendan McArdle's car, a well-known guy from Stainforth called Boo Boo. Boo Boo lent the car to Lana. Everyone knows this. The police know it. Everyone know it. Everyone knows it everywhere. Yeah, it's a known fact. You know what I mean? Just before the police were about to charge him, yeah, there was a loophole in the system, like a double jeopardy law type of thing, what prevented it. You know what I mean? Everyone knows this. You know what I mean? It's big news all around Doncaster. You know what I mean? Hey, and he lives on Broadway in Dunscroft. And do you know what? No one says shit to him. You know what I mean? How about that one? You know what I mean? Trust me. Why is everyone coming and seeing me? You know what I mean? Well, no one's coming to see me, but people spouting my name off because my name's in the limelights, and you just want to try and take a reaction. He had a car crash where a girl was run over. Yes, she'd ever died. No, she died 14 years later, like that. And they don't know what brought it on. I don't know if it was stroke, heart attack. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. But listen, I'm not even going to get into that. You know what I mean? Because my heart goes out to that woman. You know what I mean? If there's anything I can never do for that family there whatsoever, I'd do it. Like that. Even though I want the driver, there's only one person responsible of a vehicle, and that's the driver. That's that. That's that. You know what I mean? I'm coming up to doing 34 years of age. You know what I mean? This happened when I was 18 years old, and I wasn't a driver. You know what I mean? And everybody knows that. Everyone. The police know that. The public know that. The people's family knows that. They all know who it is. And by rights, like that, do you know what I mean? If it was me who was the driver, I couldn't have that kind of shame or my guilt on my head. I'd have to go to a police station. I'd have to admit to what I've done, and I'd have to do my time. As a man, I just would. You know what I mean? Because I'm real like that. And I can do the jail. Let's face it. I've done enough, and there's no big no clever about it, and there's no medals in it. But you, Shadow, to put my name into something as disgusting as that, listen to me, my mate, yeah? Get yourself into Donny 31st of May. You know what I mean? Now that this show's been pulled, I'll have a professional referee, I'll have professional nurses, whatever you want, professional paramedics, above board, PPV, and people say, why am I going to give at least double figures in a bacon's pocket? Well, listen, for a bacon to put stuff like that on me, trust me, you know what I mean, better be prepared. You know what I mean? I'll show you what we do to SOs up here in Doncaster, bro. You know what I mean? You're a convicted bacon. The promoter who you thought you was cool with at Bendigo wasn't cool with you. He said, till your charges get exonerated, you'll not be welcome on any shows in the UK. And it's simple as that. You know what I mean? How does that grab you? Englishman. So listen to me. That'll do. I had to put a few things in check there and spoke with God's honest truth. Now, everyone knows my convictions. You can type Brett May in Google as much as you want. I don't hide from anything. I speak about everything. And I'm openly honest about everything. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of fights, a lot of naughty stuff. You know what I mean? But I've never been a wrong one. Ever. And I never will. You know what I mean? I've got my old school principles. But you, Shadow, you've done 2.5 years in prison for being a convicted rapist. You know what I mean? So if you type Paul O'Flaherty into Google, everybody, Dublin, in brackets next to it, it all comes up. He got ran out of Dublin and he moved into South Kerry at his sister's yard, where, I don't know, he has his probably a little circle of hillbilly pals who are probably harmless, who big him up, I don't know. But he's trying to get a name for himself over there. No promotion in Ireland would have you on, because I know you're a convicted bacon. Otherwise you'd already be on them. That's why you do your little things in your backyard. You try and bully Bash in the backyard. You try bullying Andy Goy in the backyard. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. You can't come against a real fighter. If you come out on 31st of May, you will meet a real fighter. Trust me and take that as you want. You know what I mean? What you did to Bash, I'll do to you. Remember that. Trust. Now, apart from that being said, I think I've covered all bases there. Like, I'm straight up down the line. I really am straight John Bull. What you see is what you get. And yeah, I thought this video would be more fitting. I deleted my last 2 videos. My video was at outside Nando's in Doncaster, really having something to eat, and my brother-in-law coming out and blah 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 on about the situation, Grant. And then my second video, then I was just chilled out on my settee till I seen Shadow's video stating trying to chuck dirt on my name. Now, to chuck dirt on my name, you better have weight, because everything I've just said there is a gospel truth. You know what I mean? And it's quite easy to back up. Everyone in Doncaster will back up everything what I just said there, and a lot of people in the UK. Everyone knows the situation, but I can't see many people in Ireland sticking up and backing up your situation, Shadow, as you sat in a prison jail cell for 2.5 years for grape. Black and white. You know what I mean? Trust me. And to go to jail in Ireland, you know what I mean, for such offences is very hard work. The system's pretty much like the UK. Let's face it, a lot of these paedophiles and a lot of these rapists don't get much jail time. A lot of them get suspended sentences. So for your first time to be accused and sit down in a cell for 2.5 years, so sentenced to 5 to 7 years minimum, you was accused and you was convicted of something very, very naughty, my mate. You know what I mean? Let's not forget about that. But anyways, Ted Bundy, have a nice day. Brett May #1. Go and suck on my old balls. And a bit dosser.